regular meeting of the governing board of trustees of the Willits Unified School District is called together at 5 o'clock. Roll call, Mr. Wilker, Mrs. Nunez,
Present.
Mrs. Lampridge,
Present.
Ms. Sukni,
Here.
and myself, Mrs. King here. So flag salute. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Board Clerk.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead, you might make comments I want.
can we remove number G, which is the consideration of intent to employ Jordan Solis, because he just got an internship at this time, so we don't need to have it.
Okay. Did you have something, Paul?
Yeah, I wanted to modify, well, take off some of the issues on the consent agenda, in particular the consideration of extensive support needs, paraprofessional, special ed job descriptions, and with that, the consideration of the salary schedule. I understand it's mostly for information, and if, I believe if we pull it off, we can discuss it in that and not feel obliged to the vote we would have made toward it in the first place.
Well, this, just to be very transparent,
Yeah.
numerical here, number 4, okay?
Yeah.
We do have some people already who will be starting this job, and so removing that, they can't do their job, and to provide the school with special education. In the salary schedule, apparently, it was more about being clear on the librarian, because it says media library clerk, and the task used to be librarian. Librarian is a position under the certificate employees, and then the media library clerk is under the classified. So that's what was to be
Oh, and so
transparent.
that's being the
Yes.
switch.
So that is the switch.
Well, then for section 3, or whatever it's called, that, you know, if you're rated a 3 instead of a 4 or a 2, then that shows the people on that salary schedule.
Right.
That's not
The
an
range.
addition to the usual 3s
You're trying to understand, you talk about the range?
range.
The range, okay, the range 3 and 4, yeah, it's the same thing. So range 4 used to be the librarian, that apparently was brought up, I think it was a year ago or more, from us here. It's supposed to be middle school library clerk, and still in range 4, it hasn't changed.
Oh, okay.
It's just a different name.
Right, but the range 3 for a particular aid position?
Oh, extensive support needs, yeah, that one will be on range 3. Yeah,
Right,
so,
but that's my concern. My big concern is that that position was given, I trust, to a previous employee, and it was just a shift. But either way, even if it's a brand new employee, my concern is that a brand new person or a past person in a different department would be hired for a position that doesn't exist, and then it's going to be paid at a payment that shouldn't exist either. You know, I'm just a little concerned how that fits the,
I think Melissa can.
oh,
Yes.
good.
So there was contract language previously for CSEA allowing additional per hour pay for hazardous duties and more dangerous duties with our special ed students. And we found that very hard to track. So our solution to that is create this job description, and then that's where their placement is, which would equate to the additional hourly rate. So instead of tracking 8 hours a day on a supplemental timesheet for an additional 75 cents an hour, this was our solution to previous CSEA contract language. So it's the same employees that are our employees already doing the job who should according to contract language, would be receiving the additional dollars anyway. So we had to move that.
So, and what is concerning me basically about that is if all the aides that do that type of work are going to now get themselves reclassified, should this passing go through?
It's a
Or would it
is.
just be-
Yes, it's all the eight, so it's a very large group of special ed instructional assistants who were doing things such as diapering, toileting,
No, I
medical,
understand
right?
all
So
that.
instead of the contract language, it said they get a stipend or hazard pay for that, which was help, like, which day. That group of staff are now extensive support needs, so they're attached to kids who on their IEPs have extensive support needs. So anyone who's already doing that and has been doing that is now recognized under that job description.
And so that's what concerns me, because if we say that I'm a special ed, special needs aide, and I don't mean to get into negotiations, I just know I'm right on the border here, but let's just pretend that it is, or believe it is me, and believe that also Jennifer is an aide. Now, she is not getting the pay I'm going to get, so.
Because she's not doing those duties.
Well, that's what one would hope, except when I am not there, are you gonna pay her to pick up my slack? Or if I'm already dealing with someone somewhere, how are you gonna take care of me because you can't leave the kid in the bathroom? And also, if I'm a regular ed aide, and that ends up being a requirement, because sometimes the very young children do have those accidents and their folks do not show up at school to change them. They didn't remember to bring extra clothes that morning. We run into a number of things that concern me a lot. I just need to know that to consider all of this, which seems a little cart before the horse, that then are we just opening the door for a lot of additional pay hikes for one group within the organization, as opposed to putting it up for
Happy to explain it, and
that?
maybe we can schedule a meeting, I'm happy to, there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this, so I'm happy to answer all your questions.
One thing as well.
I'm not negotiating, it would be
No, no, I know.
appropriate, I just,
No, yeah, so one more thing actually about that here.
Yes.
What you're saying, and, we're talking about now with teachers and as well, is going to be supporting the census support teachers coming up on Wednesday. So having those people in the classroom with them, that feels that would do it there.
well, I'm certain that'd be wonderful, I just don't.
But it's needed, is the thing. If
Well,
not
I
gonna do
believe that too, I
no,
just,
the teachers will not get support.
and that's been a problem, I'm not doubting that, we have quite a turnover in that department. What concerns me about it is, if I get it, it is only right that you get it also. And I am concerned about how that's gonna be set up. And hopefully, you wouldn't need 15 aides that need to take care of the toiletry and everything else, feeding it seemed, and
I would like to add that this was ratified by CSEA. So it went through their process as well. It went through the big board process at CSEA and was brought back to their board for approval.
yeah, that's what made me aware of it, because it seems like the ratification process doesn't have like a rule about a 2/3 quorum, or even half of their people being there to vote. And so it pushes concerns after the fact, and I'm capable after the fact.
Well, the way I understand it is that if you are attached to a child and working with that child, you get that raise because that comes with the needs of the child. If I'm doing an aid and I'm not attached to a special needs child, I don't get that raise.
Because the special needs child that's attached will take a space and go take care of the issue. Those issues come up.
No, what I'm saying is that if you're the worker for that child, you're the only one that gets paid for that child. I could be an aide, but not with the special needs. I'm saying this because with my grandson and the disabilities that he has, he has really high needs, and he has one or two people, depending, I don't remember exactly how many, but that work with him specifically, and they don't do other people, and they don't do other kids, and other people don't come and work with him.
Right. And that's,
And that those people
teacher that can change the diapers if the aide isn't there, so it's not
Now,
necessarily
that
her
was a
fault.
part of the conversation, that the teachers do not do that.
No, they don't do that. So
That's
that's
not
why this position supports the teachers in the classroom to do diapers and other things needs to be done that, which,
But it's not just diapering, it's kids who have aggressive
aggressive
behavior.
behaviors
It's,
and,
you know, staff that have to wear, arm guards because the kids are
Their
stretched.
body-
So although it says toileting and diapering, that's not the only piece, and so, yeah.
And I also wanted to mention that in a situation where somebody would have to fill in for a position like that, there's always compensation that would come with that, like out-of-class pay.
And see, that's
So
what
nobody
I'm
would come
wondering.
in from a, you know, if they're gonna cover somebody for the whole day, correct?
Mhm.
That they would end up getting that additional pay to ensure they're being covered for the job they're doing that day. It's called out-of-class pay.
Yeah,
So it would definitely be compensated for them, for sure.
yeah,
And they
I'm
did,
just
like you said, it
concerned.
took a lot of, making sure that the right people were, reclassed in that way.
So, I move that we accept, the, agenda as amended as removing G, but without the other changes, because I believe that the school district has done their due diligence in taking care of for.
Are you saying that you were informed and aware of all these things that were coming up?
this is in my update as well. In my updates and projects.
Right, I read those. I didn't see anything about it. I only saw that you had hoped by the 10th of August you would have some things a little more.
That's a different one. That's a different one.
Okay, maybe it's farther back or farther forward.
Well, I know that
Yes,
Melissa
I
and
think over last
Amy and Kelly all have spoken that your concerns are the school district personnel has done their due diligence in defining this job and the salary schedule for it.
And hiring people before it's approved.
Well, no, they're just transferring from one position to another position and not being hired.
All
And
current.
these
Yeah.
are not, these are all current.
There's already.
Are you going to hire?
No, we're not hiring them. It's the current people that are gonna be into a different, they're gonna be called extensive support needs, professional.
Instead of regular special
Right.
ed super
So,
needs.
yeah,
Getting hazard pay when they are in hazardous
yeah,
situations.
because they're doing
Take that part out.
So I do recommend the board to go ahead and pass the agenda, except with G.
So, I made that motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. So, I'll just read briefly the, short synopsis of the government norms. We agree to act with dignity, respect differences, build trust, work as a team, engage the public, focus on the success of every student, work together for the common good. And we go on to informational items. So the summer maintenance completed projects report.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Rick Scarmella, Director of Maintenance, Operation, and Transportation. It was amazing how fast the summer went by this year. Feels like we just graduated 2 weeks ago. So our district-wide deep cleaning by the operations team was phenomenal. They covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time. Sanitizing, disinfecting all classroom, locker rooms, restrooms, offices, waxing floors, shampooing carpets, high dusting, furniture moving. the basics, they're pretty redundant every year, but as far as the maintenance side, we were light employees all year. Basically ran with 2 maintenance guys from the end of May to mid-July. And that was Gustavo and Josh really stepped up and were tremendous. Didn't complain, got stuff done timely, very efficient, and with a sense of humor. With that being said, some of our bigger projects were the high school office. We renovated it, put all new flooring in, paint, and reconfigured the layout to make it a more inviting, welcoming, professional area as you walk into the office. We did renovate the football field restrooms right before graduation. Give it a little TLC, they sure look a lot better. Roofing, as you all know, the 3 roofing projects, both locker rooms are done, the auditorium's done, and we're getting very close on the industrial arts shop, the welding and the metal shop. We supported the ag farm by digging some holes to plant the fruit trees and such. We striped parking lots at the high school, Bechtel, and Brookside, and re-striped playgrounds at Blosser and Bechtel. And we're still trying to get a few more done before school starts. Brookside office, we also renovated that, all new flooring, paint, cleaned up a bunch of obsolete abandoned wiring, installed cabinets, uppers, lowers, and countertops and storage. Really made it look nice, really brought it around. Did some window coverings, flooring repairs, then our basic is general maintenance throughout the classrooms. Try to get to everything we could, and prioritize, obviously. You guys have any questions so far? Yes, Ms. Fuller.
The general fund or the bond paid for the renovation of offices?
No, that was out of the general.
The general fund?
Yeah, out of my 8150,
Oh, okay. And then,
which was, it was minimal in materials, because we already had the
yeah.
flooring from the previous summer. I still had a pretty good reserve. So it's minimal cabinets and some paint, basically,
Yeah.
and just our labor.
Mostly labor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. And I don't mean to jump ahead if you're
No, that's
going
all right.
to say this, but was there an opportunity to dust those ceiling fan things that are in the gym? You know, those great big ones that are way above the
In-
basketball.
In what gym?
basketball.
In what gym? In the
The
high
high
school?
school gym, I'm sorry.
They
I
were,
didn't get a chance to see those, but I did look at the high school.
the heaters, I'm assuming you're referring to.
I think that they are just real fans that circulate air, and when they blow around, a lot of the stuff
Yeah,
that's
we
on.
did in the end of May, we were up there doing a repair, and I don't believe
Yeah.
we cleaned them all, but we cleaned the ones where we were working, and got a bunch of,
It's like a silt and dust that
There's-
goes,
little things they use at PE that got the, I forget what it's called, it's like tennis, but it's not.
oh, badminton or
Thank you.
something. yeah.
Yeah, we retrieved a bunch of those, that's
Oh, okay.
towards
Well,
the
it had
girls'
been
locker.
years, and I know that there were some requests put in by some coaches from the last couple of years.
Okay,
And I just wondered if it was able to get done, and I honestly didn't notice a difference in any of the fans, so I must have.
yeah, I'd have to take a look
Needed
to
to
make sure
look
we're
more closely.
talking about the same,
It could be, they're just the ones that are in the roof on those,
on the beams,
yeah.
okay, not the big brown units,
No, those are
Okay.
boxes.
yeah, the boxes.
No, these are real fans.
Okay,
They're
yes,
Little
no.
propeller fans.
We have not got to those, but
Oh,
I
okay.
never really looked up, to be honest with you.
Well, I understand.
So thank you for
I
bringing it.
didn't bother until I used to hear about how people were coughing and all their other issues because of the dust. I was just curious.
Thank you for bringing that up. Anything else?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm assuming, we do repairs based on sort of, priority or triage, most urgent things get done. As far as your long-term plans for district, what's sort of the next area of focus?
Would be windows, as far as projects, and a couple more classroom renovations. Windows at more so Bechtel right now, because those are very old, and obviously not very efficient. And then some classroom renovations at Brookside.
Good, thank you.
That would be the long-term goal, budget pending.
So continue, please.
Okay. So basically just general repairs in the classrooms, lights, light switches, and all of a sudden now we have a lot of HVAC that are having throwing fits now that everyone's back. They were fine, I guess, through June, but we did install a new pump and motor for the irrigation at Blosser, and I think we finally have that dialed in now. So you should start to see a lot more greenery around the campus when you're there. We did a lot of work on the interior sprinklers, rotors, a lot of PVC pipe repairs. Grounds basically kept maintaining, and other than just doing our little bit more than normal on irrigation repairs as far as sprinklers and adjusting them, really no big projects for them, except there's a few that might be coming up soon. We resided room 23 at Brookside we did the renovation the last year. The south side was rotten. We finally got all the materials and the time to do it, got it repainted. And in a nutshell, that was about our summer.
Lots of hard work, thank you.
Yeah, I really thank the guys. They were tremendous.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, thank you.
We appreciate you, Rick, and your team. So.
Thank you.
Rick, I would love to meet with you.
Okay.
I have some questions on how all of this works, and I just want a better understanding of it.
Okay.
So maybe we could schedule a meeting.
Yeah, you get a call, email me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so on to informational item B, review of CSEA Willits chapters number 261's initial proposal to the district for contract negotiation.
So because it is a reopener, as it is indicated on the CSCA, the master agreement, and so this submitted to the district, actually was in this winter, spring, but we never got their proposal. So we have Article 5 housing all the time, Article 6 paying add once, and that's typical to have something like that. And then Article 7, medical and dental benefits, again, is also typical. And then last one, Article 19 is professional. So we're expecting to enter negotiation, looking at October.
Thank you. Any comments from the board or questions? Okay, on to item number, informational item C, review of district's initial proposal to CSEA Willits chapter number 261 for contract negotiation.
Same thing for the district, we're going to negotiate wages and health benefits, is the same thing what they have there, except different wordings. Article 10, transfers of vacancies, and Article 18, discipline. So we are up to 3
Okay, thank you.
with the reopener.
So we're on to communications from the union superintendent and the governing board. We'll start with the board members. Paula?
Yes. Well, since school let out, I've not done anything in the schools except look around and see what was going on, mostly at school sites. And a couple of schools, I'm certain I look like a peeping Tom. I was interested in what went on with their windows and how their rooms were being cleaned. And the custodians and the maintenance people, I don't know that they have chores, but I saw a lot of maintenance, not a lot of maintenance, but maintenance personnel at a lot of the sites, which had to be in addition to all their other chores. So it was a real big deal and a good thing to see. I ran into a couple of issues at the high school where there were either miscommunications or misunderstandings in a person's responsibility, their hours that they worked, and the amount of time they were given to do their chores. And so I also would like to meet with you, Rick, and get that clearer in my mind. And then in addition to all that, I do notice that some things that haven't been done in years, or some things that you know, you're told today and it needs to be done by tomorrow or the day after, is still getting done, which is a whole lot of pressure and hard work. But it's some real sincere dedication by a number of the employees, especially some of those in grounds. We almost never hear a whole lot about that, and my big thing is to watch them cruise around on their tractor. You know, because one of these days I plan to do that, not really. But anyway, they get a lot of stuff done. But they are always doing something, even if it's like moving a plant from one spot to another, which kind of amazed me. But it seemed that they followed teacher requests on occasion, which amazed me a whole lot, since that's not the way it's supposed to work. But they really do work hard, and it looks around here really nice. Even the spots that were usually left to go ahead and turn brown, not really brown, and that's nice, because, you know, we live in Willits, we're supposed to have green, you know. So that was a good thing. Other than that, I do have some concerns about some of the things that go on for the agenda, and I'm hoping that tomorrow at our meeting that we can sort of straighten out a lot of stuff. So we'll see. Otherwise, next month you'll hear all about how it didn't go smoothly. No, that's only half of it.
All right, Jennifer?
Hi. Summer has been very interesting, and I was intending to run again for school board and realized that there was a lot of trauma that I was experiencing because of other things that brought up, and that I worked for CPS for almost 30 years. It was my responsibility to fix, to keep kids safe, to help parents, to do. And I suddenly realized, I don't have to do that anymore. I can take care of me. I started reading a book by Liam Muris that I didn't even realize he'd written, and he's one of my favorite authors, because I hadn't sat and read a book for entertainment for about 40 years. So now it's going to be my turn. And in order of doing stuff to still keep active, I've been twisting Diane's arm about working with the little kids and teaching them songs and other things like that, so that we can get music started in the younger grades, and I do this as a volunteer. So I'm here till December, and you will have my full attention, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. David?
Okay. I also had, fairly relaxing summer. I didn't actually do much at all as far as being a board member. I will say though that the last few days I've just, seen a lot of really positive signs that you're going to start off well. It looks like a lot of the in-services have been kind of well received by some of the teachers I've talked to as far as what they're trying to cover. And also as far as staffing goes. I mean, we have some positions that have gone we have an actual high school music teacher now, which is great, and a person who has some experience. We filled special ed jobs, history jobs. I think we're just down to a couple, if not, that need to be filled still. And so it's encouraging that we actually will be hopefully fully staffed by the time we actually start working. Well, yours goes.
April?
I took July completely off of school board in Sobergrad, so that was nice. But Sobergrad's starting already. We are ramping up. We are starting our meetings and all of that. Blosser Lane, if you haven't gone there, their mural is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's so much detail to it. I mean, the kids are just gonna love it. What else? Oh, the basketball hoops at Back to Grove look amazing. They look really good. It's nice to see some improvement at Back to Grove. I own personal opinion, believe that campus needs a lot of attention out of all the campuses. A lot of things that are there were there when I was a kid. Haven't changed not one bit. I remember certain things about that campus when I was there. So that's one thing I would like to see is some more improvement at BGMS. Needs to be more welcoming. I feel like that site is lacking in that
my own opinion though. I've spent the last 4 weeks at Bechtel because my daughter is doing cheer and my other daughter is coaching, so I've been there every single day for 2 hours a day when I get off work. I'm really excited because my daughter is actually going to be our student rep this year. She informed me, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also I don't know about this year. My daughter's a senior, my son is in 8th grade, my other daughter's in 5th grade, and then my youngest is in 2nd grade. So everybody's gonna be transitioning this year, so I'm just gonna be carrying Kleenex in my pocket pretty much 24/7. But all the campuses, I mean, there's been improvements all the way around. The roofing project was huge. My brother's on maintenance, so I always talk to him about how everything's going. They all are very hard workers. They have a lot going on, and every day they get more put on their plate besides their task list that they get put on. So I am not downplaying their job at all. I wouldn't want it. Thank you for all of them. They're amazing. Other than that, I'm excited to get the year going and look forward to working hard.
Thank you. To start with, I want to welcome everyone back, and I hope everyone had an opportunity to relax and enjoy some time with family. I also want to thank staff that dedicated part of their summer to provide extended school year opportunities to our students, as well as Kids Club and the Nuestra Alianza. And the way I spent my summer is I decided that since it was the 250th anniversary of the founding of America, that I would study the founding of America. So that's what I've been doing. I read a 600-page book that just came out on the Revolution, and I learned such a tremendous amount. And I've done genealogy research, so I sent my my son and my granddaughter and my nieces and my sister information about their ancestors that were in the Revolutionary War. And because I think it's really important to be informed of those things, to have some connection there. I also want to thank maintenance and custodial staffs for the hard work that they put into the facility upgrades, repairs, groundskeeping, and district-wide deep cleaning. My appreciation is also extended to the work of the roofing crews, whose work was paid for with bond monies, and I understand they were up on the roof when the earthquake happened. So that would not be a very nice place to be in that earthquake. That's a steep roof. I'm glad everybody's okay. Nobody slid off. And I also want to appreciate staff who spent some of their summer attending trainings, such as the MTSS training. I'm deeply saddened by the death of one of our high school students, Zach Thompson, and over the summer due to a motorcycle accident. May Zach's family and friends receive the love, kindness, and care that they need at this difficult time. I appreciate all the Willits Unified School staff who showed support by attending the walk through town while Zach was in a coma, and those that attended his memorial service at the Rec Road. And Superintendent Baker has reviewed plans with me in regards to the district plans for the 26-27 school year. I deeply appreciate Superintendent Baker's leadership and the direction he is providing Willits Unified. We're very lucky to have John Baker as our superintendent. And lastly, after this morning, I want to thank Kelly Lavis and Superintendent Baker for the wonderful opening session this morning for the 26-27 school year. Having taught in the district for over 20 years and having served on school board for 8 years, I've had a lot of experience with opening sessions. And I think this is by far the best opening session that I have ever attended. So thank you, John and Kelly.
Can I add something to mine?
Sure, of course.
I just wanted to say, the absence of a music teacher for the high school has been weighing on me. My degrees are in music. And I found a friend that was willing to join me, who was a professional opera singer and stuff, and be at the high school and start chorus if we couldn't find a teacher. And Amy has done miracles. My friend and I are going to be out of these voluntary jobs because she went ahead and finally, she had one guy that said yes, and then his wife got sick and he couldn't wouldn't do it, and then this other guy that kind of disappeared, and then finally, thank you.
Okay, so we have CSEA comments. Is there anyone here from CSEA? Nope, we'll go on to WTA.
Hello, I'm Amanda Laskowitz. I'm a science teacher at the high school, but I'm also the new president for Willits Teachers Association, and I also have our new vice president, Jennifer Nunez Ward, as well. From other teachers, I've heard lots of excited comments about sparkly floors and clean windows and the mural as well. But for our union work, over the summer, Jennifer and I, we went to a 4-day conference through our state union, the California Teachers Association, and we got big manuals and how to do this voluntary job, and there's a lot to learn. Even as I was the vice president the previous 2 years, it's a lot. It's a big job. So I'm trying to figure it out and support each other. And basically, the main gist of it is just supporting the working conditions of the teachers is also supporting the learning conditions of the students, right? And so supporting those learning conditions also requires funding as well. And one thing that I learned at our president's conference was that about 10 years ago, CTA, our state union, did a big push on Prop 55 to increase funding for schools. And so it passed, and what it did was that it taxed California couples that make more than $740,000. I don't think that's our group. So couples making that much or more, they get an extra tax, and that money goes into public schools. But there is a sunset date on that tax, and it is in 2030. So last year, with our union, we did a lot of work signing petitions to get something on the ballot so that we could continue that tax. And we did that work, signing the petitions, and there is a proposition that will be on the ballot this November, which is called Prop 3. And what Prop 3 is, it's asking for a permanent extension of this tax that already exists for high earners. And that tax represents about 15% of our budgets, which is huge. And so for Willits Unified, if Prop 3 does not pass, we are looking at losing more than $3.6 million every year. And it's not just Willits Unified, it's every district in the state. So for example, Ukiah Unified stands to lose $18 million every year. Fort Bragg Unified stands to lose almost $2 million every year if Prop 3 is not passed. So that's something that we learned about specifically. So WTA is requesting that the board please pass a resolution in support of Prop 3. So I've looked at our budget and the 45-day revision, and we cannot afford to lose $3.6 million more dollars. So if you like, I do have a handout about that cost, and also on the backside, it shows the amount of money that could be lost for other school districts in Mendo County and in Lake County. And I also printed out more over there on the table if you would like to grab one as well. And there's the backside as well.
Thank you very much for bringing that information.
Yeah, I didn't know. Those are all the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you do. Okay, Superintendent Baker.
All right, well, welcome back to the 26-27 school year. I did not do a lot of reading this summer, but I did 2 paintings. So I'm excited I did that, and so I may use some critics and see how it is. As we begin a new school year, I want to take a moment to welcome everyone back to Willits Unified School District. There's always something special about the beginning of the school year. Our classrooms, campuses once again come alive with students and our teachers. Classified staff, administrators, support team come together around. And most important, the responsibility we're serving to our students. But most important here, before we start, I'd like for us to take a moment of silence. Please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance of Zach Thompson. His family shared that Zachary was a true light in this world, who loved everyone and embodied the spirit of goodness with every breath. We honor his memory and extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and all those whose lives he touched. So please join me for a short moment of silence. I want to thank our staff, the tremendous amount of work that has gone in preparing for the opening of the school year, in getting classrooms ready, and hiring employees, to preparing transportation, food services, technology, facilities, and special education services, and instruction programs. Opening our schools require the collective effort of many people. To our teachers and staff, thank you for choosing to serve the students of Willits Unified. The work you do matters. Every interaction with a student is an opportunity to make a difference in their life. This year, we'll continue focusing on strong instruction, student achievement, safe and welcoming schools, responsible stewardships, involves resources and stronger communication with our families and community. And I recently sent a letter to all the families, and I just want to share that with you again about the goals I have with this school year that I share with all the board and you. And it says strengthen professional learning communities, the PLC. Implement and expand our MTSS so every student have great achievement in the academics. Develop stronger vertical and horizontal alignment across all grade levels, departments, and school sites. Improve the quality of instruction in the classroom by focusing on research-based practices and high expectations in student engagement. And lastly, to cultivate a positive district culture where students and employees feel supported. As I mentioned this morning, we're here to support you. We also made the great effort to share the wonderful things we do during the school year, and one of the things I was talking about is to share the stories. We have a lot of stories we're going to get through with our students in our schools, the events. And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to revive our Facebook and have ongoing information every week to show about the work that we're doing at schools, in the classrooms, the reading, the math, everything. We need to show this to our parents that we're serving, to our communities. So, in all, I'm very, very excited to start a wonderful school year and to work with you. And I know the kids are just coming around the corner here. We're thinking about them next week. And many of you are thinking about your classroom and your roster and what kind of students you have in there. But again, we're here to support you. And I very much look forward to all the back to school night and to be there next Wednesday and to support you in any way I can. Thank you.
All right, we're on to public comments. Do we have any public comments? guess there's no public comments. So, consent agenda, do I hear a motion to approve consent agenda as presented, with item, no, I'm sorry. Yes, as presented.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
Okay. Do any board members have comments or questions? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're on to action items. Do I hear a, motion to approve action item, C, consideration of the 2026, 2027, 45-day budget revision?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Are there any board members that have comments or questions?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a section that talked about the variations for the, for the 45-day revision, And so what I'm curious about is how on the next page, it said the state adopted a 4.31 COLA. And there was an increase to the special ed revenue. And then it goes on talking about a number of other things. What I'm curious about was how great the special ed revenue extra, so to speak, was, that it's going to save our general fund from the previous, there's a word for that, encroachment, I believe, that used to go on.
Contribution.
Contribution.
There is still a contribution. Special education is only funded at about 20%, and the district covers the rest.
Okay, and so now the district, having received additional money would mean that there should be a 10% contribution, or a 15, or whatever.
No, we're still at about 80% contributing. At this point, special education is, like I said, only funded at 20%. The costs continue to increase each year. The amount of kids we have coming into our district, needing those services continues to increase. We just had a child move into the district who needs more services, so it's supposed to offset the increase in costs or allow us to increase services. We already have increased most of the services ourselves without those additional funds. So it doesn't, we still are contributing quite a bit.
Oh, okay, and you don't have a, kind of like an in general amount of money that we received that was supposed to do this offsetting?
And that's what that amount is. The amount listed on the front page is the $626,000. We have had some additional changes though, and we're separating from the charter schools, so we won't receive revenue from them, but we also won't be spending as much supporting them.
Oh, okay, so the $305,450, I don't quite understand why we transferred it all to the charter school. They are the students being serviced?
The charter schools, based upon our ADA, so the way we get funded, we're the main person who gets funded. So it takes our ADA, Willits charter, Willits elementary charter, and Levita charter. So historically, there was an offset, but because we're separating, there is not going to be that offset any longer. So Willits elementary charter, they have their set amount of ADA, so the funding we received is per ADA. So they get their chunk based upon the ADA that they have, and that's the amount of money they're generating based upon their students. The same goes for all three charter schools.
Oh, okay.
But then they also, in our LCFF calculator, which doesn't impact to the number that I present to you, it's built into the calculator, they get their portion of taxes as well, based upon the kids they have that generate that revenue.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get everything to add up. Now I see why. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor of, item C, 2026-2027 45-day budget revision. Aye. Opposed?
Excuse me.
All right, we're on to item E. Consider, I'm sorry, what? D, I'm sorry, thank you. Consideration of intent to employ Julia Richley as a principal, Sanhaven Alternative High School with a variable term waiver.
So what is this about? It's just that she's still on a admin credential, and so we need to provide a waiver for the time being for the completed her admin credential to act as a principal.
I have a couple of questions about that. I understood that she was on like an accelerated track and would take 4 parts, and that up to the 3rd part would have been finished by summer
One of the,
ending.
Amy talked about that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping.
Yeah, so her program was supposed to start earlier in the school year, in February, and due to low enrollment, they had to push it out. So unfortunately, she's going to need a variable term waiver for another year so she can get to that piece, but she's been working really hard on it now that she's in it.
To the point she's accomplished 2 of the 4 sections or 1 of the 4 sections?
You know, I haven't looked at her sections. I'm basing this on information from her program and from her as far as her projected completion would be by the end of this next school year.
By the end of this coming school year?
Yes, by the end, yes. That's why we're going to give her the variable term waivers are usually granted for 2 years. So last year, we did not submit the variable term waiver for her that you had approved because of the delay in her program being able to start, because you're only allowed 2, and we didn't want to waste that if something came up in the next. So she was getting into her program, started later because of that delay, and so we're giving her the second waiver to get through, or not the second one, but this waiver to get her through to her internship. And then by the next year, she'll not need anything, she'll be an intern and going forward from there.
So this 2 years that she is being given kind of retros from the middle of last year?
Since when you guys approved it last year, it was approximately, I think it was in the winter, and we were expecting it to start in February, and they delayed it for her. So that's what the issue is for her.
Yeah. So what I was understanding is that there was a class to be taken over the summer and
She did.
oh, okay.
Yeah, she actually submitted, and I just completed her transcript review with Amanda, so that way she can move on the salary schedule, and also she presented that she took those courses.
Oh, okay. That's,
Yeah, she's been working very hard on it.
yeah, that was a big part of my concern.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor of, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I made a motion. No? Okay, so, do I have a motion to approve consideration of the intent to employ Julia Ritchie as principal, Sanhaven Alternative High School with a variable term waiver?
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second? Oh, you have a question?
No.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we're on to item E, consideration of intent to employ Brandon Ludwig as a vice principal, Willits High School with a variable term waiver.
That's the same type of situation as the one above, and Brandon is on track to complete his admin credential by December.
So do I hear a motion to approve the action item as presented?
I move to be approved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, do any board members have comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we go on to item F, consideration of intent to employ Ronald Banta as a middle school teacher at Oak Grove Middle School with a provisional internship permit. Do I hear a motion to approve? Do I hear a motion to approve the action item as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Are there any board members that have comments or questions?
Yes.
So Mr. Banta is somebody we have brought over from Colorado. He he has a clear credential there. So when we brought him here, there are some California requirements, as you know, they're a little bit more stringent than other states. And so when he came over, we're working towards clearing his credential, and it should be cleared before the end of the school year. So that's why we're putting him on there, just to get him going.
No, I just needed to make sure what I hear and what is true are the same.
Yes.
Okey-doke, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so we agree to skipping G. And we're on to H, consideration of intent to employ Julian Polito as a high school math teacher with a provisional internship permit. Do I have a motion to approve that action item? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so do any board members have comments or questions?
The same ones.
So Mr. Polito, he has been working very hard. He will have his intern credential by February. And so another situation, he's local, out of Ukiah, but he has just been working as a student teacher and doing all his things down in Ukiah. And so I talked to his program personally myself, just to confirm, and they said he will be ready by February. So we're getting him, just to get him started.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, on to item I, consideration of 2026-2027 agricultural career technical education incentive grant. Do I hear a motion to approve that as presented?
I move that we approve it as presented.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, do any board members have comments or questions?
I do.
Paul, you don't want me to say something, so it
Oh,
wasn't us.
no, I'd appreciate it.
So this CTE incentive program grant apparently is going to be of $17,000, going to help us with, with books and supplies, conferences, and farm, and shop maintenance, and teachers' PD as well. So that's what that's going to be used for.
We actually apply for this grant every year, and it supports all of our CTE pathway programs,
This is a
Maryland
good thing.
CTA.
Been around that way.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I still have
Okay.
some. It says here on class size funding B, that the number of teachers meeting level B in all classes, 31 in classroom, 25 in shop classes, that's being met. Okay, so what I'm concerned with is how many students are in those classes? The
Three classes.
agriculture classes with at least 50% of their teaching assignment in agriculture. There are those where they meet in level A classes, and then that means the number of teachers meeting level A class size times 2,000 is 4,000. Class size funding B, which is number of teachers meeting level B in all classes, which is interesting why they say it that way. 31 in classroom, 25 in shop. So I just need to know how many kids are there. It says number of teachers meeting is in the level B class size is per times 1,000, and we got a 0.
Well, after we have to see enrollment what's going to happen, but we know that we are getting close to those numbers, right?
So then the classes are smaller than they should be?
The classes, if you give me a minute, I can tell you exactly.
Oh, good, because I have a lot of questions that touch those topics.
And we will not know the true enrollment just yet, because school hasn't started yet.
And the counselors are currently working on
Yeah, and they haven't
finalizing and scheduling students. I know that as of today, some of the counselors were working through the juniors. So they haven't finalized sophomores and freshmen yet either.
So that's still entering.
The numbers are not going
So
to be.
you will not have the accurate number, that's still entering what, 300, almost 400 students.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay,
freshman
so-
class, the freshman class alone that's coming in is
160.
160.
Yeah, they're the big one that
Yeah.
is the
So they're
bulk.
still working on it, they have until Tuesday.
Right, so, but what I'm I'm getting at is this implies that we don't have that many students taking those classes. And I understood last year that Kelly Brackett was going to only be in the district some days, because she's really sort of working in Chico. Okay, and she's over, supervising and stuff, and then a new person had been hired.
Right.
Okay, so I'm sure this was written to talk about just last year, and that's what the dates say it's talking about.
But the writing, this is not writing, this is the French people who write it.
No, yeah,
We just
I
fill the numbers.
Right.
We just say like, the number of teachers, or like Becky Bowles, and.
Yeah, and see, I didn't know that
And
Becky,
so she's also part of it, and Kelly.
this year she is, but I understood
Mr.
from her
Mansfield
that-
and I wrote this, he's put a lot of time and energy into the numbers, so I believe they are accurate, so,
Good,
into the CTIG grant application.
oh, okay, and
And
so,
in one portion, without having it in front of me, or seeing what exact section you're looking at, it looks like some of those numbers were 25, 26 numbers.
oh, okay.
And the
that's
teachers
good.
listed for 25, 26. And it specifically asked for the ag teachers, which there were only two. It doesn't cover all of the CTE teachers, even though this funding is for all of the CTE programs.
Oh, okay, well, one of the ag teachers that I spoke with had some concerns that there was not like a guarantee that she'd be doing certain parts of the agriculture program that she thought she would be doing. I'm concerned about that because all the paperwork shows two people are doing it, that the district has way met the minimum percentages for things you need to take care of in the classroom, and they're earning extra money, except in one section, which really surprised me because it's leadership development, and everything I see when I go to those things, they have outstanding leadership, and they go across the US doing those conferences and doing really well. So I was just concerned, how come it looked like the numbers are not matching?
Shane can actually touch on that a little bit because he was involved for the.
Mr. Baker, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
So the CTEC application is something we have to fill out each year. Generally, we get anywhere from roughly 80 to 105,000, give or take. It's not exact. They don't ask for every single. We usually have to put 2 to 3 of our programs. We have, I believe, 10 pathways. They don't require us to put every single one. We simply have to choose 2 or 3 of them in order to qualify for the funding for the next year. So, I don't know why, but Mr. Mansfield must have chosen agriculture. I usually just pick one of the groups, or one of the teachers, and we pick the funding based on that. They don't require every single one. And then that funding comes in, it's all off of last year's numbers. So we take off of last year's numbers for the classes, last year's numbers for completion rates, because we don't know the completion rates for this year, so we can't put them down. It's always last year's numbers we're working
Yeah.
off of. So these numbers, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the specific one, but when I did it, we just pull, I would pick ag or building trades or whatever it was, one that year. And then we would carry it over. Last year, I think we got around 105. The problem is, they state the number you're gonna get, but you don't always get that number. I think we actually only ended up getting about 90,000, give or take, from the state for it.
Oh, okay.
So those are numbers that it's a renewal application. We have to do it. Without that application, without approval, we could not fund our CTE programs. So that funds majority outside of the K-12 Strong Workforce grants. That funded pretty much 100% of the resources. So the lumber, that's a bad example because we have the K-12 grant. But the lumber that they use in both the wood shop as well as the building trade, the seeds and fertilizer and fill in the blank, whatever. They also use the AIG grant for that. In addition, for the paint supplies, a lot of that comes out of the CTEC funding, as well as the Perkins is another piece that pays for that. All in all, we would get roughly 80 to 100,000 for the CTEC. We get roughly 25 to 28,000, give or take, for the Perkins. And the AIG, it went up last year, I think it was 22 or something like that. It's usually somewhere between 12 to 22. So Kelly Brackett's on there because she was the teacher last year. Not because she's teaching there this year,
Well, that's, okay.
but because she taught last year. So she was the credential that was required. You have to have a CTE credential to qualify for this, and whoever's overseen it. So she just happened to be the one that Mr. Mansell must have chosen. But he could have chosen, I believe, any of the programs there. they just don't require us to put every single one on the application.
Okay, so then when they come up with, they're gonna have a base fund of $17,000, or their general funding is gonna be, in this case, 24,300, okay? That's probably going to be used just for ag, but there's plenty more, not plenty, but
It's
for all of them.
It's for the whole thing. You're just required to put down some of the money you spent last year for it. But when that money comes in and it comes to the district, we can spend it on any of the programs.
or only some of the programs, is that it? It doesn't
Anyone,
necessarily go out to
they
all.
have to have a CTE credential. So in
Right.
order to put it towards it, must be approved CTE pathway and they must have a CTE credential. Without those, we can't put the money. So it's not like we could take it, it's unfortunate, we couldn't take it and put it into an English class or a science class.
Well, no, that I
Because it would have to
understand.
be for, but generally speaking, that's at the purview of the district and the principal to make the decision how those monies are spent. Usually I would talk when we have some long plan, maybe there's some big thing we needed to purchase. I know in the past, they've spent tens of thousands of dollars in like the wood shop, that's where they got all of their equipment over the span of multiple years. Then the art room, for a couple of years ago, we increased a lot of the resources for the theater. And so a lot of the stuff that they got, and then some of it is also cross and shared, so the building trade as well as theater, they kind of go hand in hand where they build the sets as well as the acting piece that goes with it.
Then it is not a regulation that if you get $25,000 or whatever you get, that all of that has to either be split amongst everyone or given to just 2 or 3 or whatever. The decision comes from the site or wherever, or the district.
Because
I'd
there's
say
two-
the district typically spreads that evenly amongst the groups based upon their needs. So
Okay.
we need to support all of the CTE programs, and that's how we do it with those funds.
You just sort of split them equally amongst everyone.
Yes, based upon the need. So if woodshop has a project planned, that's how we pay for it. Farm has a project planned. That's honestly the funding used to support those programs. The district pays for the teachers out of supplemental concentration, which is the LCAP, and the rest, supplies and materials needed for any of those programs is paid for out of the CTIP grant.
Okay, so each one's getting some, and if they don't need it, they theoretically can say no thanks, then that can be resplit or reshared out.
Yes, because it is a use it or lose it, so.
Yeah.
There are
Okay.
some pathways that where we ever buy supplies, but the money is there if, for what they need, so.
Okay, I think there was a misunderstanding, and now I understand it, at least, but that's good. Okay, thanks.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're on to, I'm sorry.
I was just telling Paul, thank you for asking that, because I understood a little bit, but thank you, I understand it.
And I'm sure Mansell could explain it, but I'd be happy to sit down with you and explain it.
Oh, yeah,
But it's-
but I appreciate it, thank you. all of you.
Admins at the site are the ones who actually write the application, I just fill in the dollars.
Okay, we're on to item J, consideration of the 2026-2027 Perkins application. Do I hear a motion to approve the action item as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
Okay, are there any board members that have comments or questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're on to item K, consideration of resolution 2026/27-1, amend bylaws of Northern California Schools Insurance Group, the NCSIG. So do I hear a motion to approve the action item as presented?
Can I get a little more
Sure.
clarification on
I
that?
think John has information.
So, I'm gonna read that to you here because it's a lot of stuff there, but, so technically, it's called NSIG, am I right? NSIG, okay. The Board of Directors reviewed through proposed amendments to the organization bylaws on May 29. In accordance to their bylaws, the proposed amendments requires approval of 2/3 of the NSIG membership. And so for us, there's the approval of this resolution allows Willits Unified School District to participate in the required member approval process and supports the continued governance and effective administration of the NSIG group.
ultimately, they're just changing their bylaws to require 2/3 vote approval for anything that they're proposing. So we, in turn, because we're a member of the JPA, require board approval, accepting their change to their bylaws.
Thank you.
I have a question to you. How, this district has one rep, not 3 or whatever anymore?
That was health insurance.
Right.
NICSIG is different, so there's always only
Oh,
been
to
one.
be a part of them.
Yes,
and then the
so
health plan
Staywell
was-
was a separate
Oh,
JPA, and
okay.
that one did have 3 representatives.
Okay, okay.
Do I hear a motion to approve the action items presented, consideration of resolution 2026/27-1, amend bylaws of Northern California Schools Insurance Group and county tax?
Excuse me, we don't have to say this ayes and noes.
A roll call for
Yeah,
resolution?
isn't that what this is?
Yeah, it's a resolution, so you need to have a roll call.
Okay, general roll call? Okay. So, April,
Yes.
David, myself, yes?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Does there need to be a motion first? I just have to ask.
They did the
You need a
motion.
motion,
I
right?
didn't hear, no, they never
No.
did. They never did.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the action item as presented?
Now.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I
Yeah, do I
second.
have a first?
It's been
I make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, so we're gonna do the roll call again. April,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
myself, yes. Jennifer?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So,
Beautiful start to the year.
regular meeting is